Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be showing you what each and every one of these cursed possession does, going from least complex all the way to most complex. Alright, let's begin. I'll also have chapter markers down below if you just want to go to a certain cursed possession. But anyways, let's get started. Alright, so first we have the Voodoo Doll. So what does the Voodoo Doll do? So every pin that you pull from the Voodoo Doll forces an instant interaction, which means every pull of a pin will force it to like touch a door or throw an object or something that's like an interaction basically. Every pin pulled will only take 5% of your sanity, while the heart pin will take 10% sanity. And of course, it'll also cause a cursed hunt. And when your sanity raises 0%, all pins will automatically retract. And it should also cause a cursed hunt, but I have had some times where it just doesn't like start a hunt for some reason. Like it started it and then it stopped it immediately. So I don't know what that's about, but that probably is a bug. But just so you know. Alright, moving on to the haunted mirror. Okay, so the haunted mirror will give you a glimpse of the current ghost room that it is at that moment. So when you raise it up, it'll show you that ghost room at the current moment. Now, using the mirror only drains sanity at a rate of 7.5 seconds. The haunted mirror does have a minimum amount of sanity that it will take no matter what. The minimum is 20% sanity. If you use it for less than 2.67 seconds, like it says on the screen, it'll always drain 20% sanity. And of course, it will break when you don't have enough sanity. So if you're, say, for example, you're 18% sanity, it'll break immediately and cause a cursed hunt. Now, this cursed possession is probably the best one because you could always check just to make sure if the ghost has changed ghost room or not. You just got to make sure you have enough sanity to use it. All right, moving on to the summoning circle. All right, so for the summoning circle, when all candles are lit, the ghost will be summoned for a few seconds as a ghost event, and then will hunt right after. So in that time, you could place down some solid or motion sensor, take a photo of the ghost. You can do all that like pretty easily, which is the good part about summoning circle. Now the bad part is every candle lit takes away 16% sanity, and you have to light all 5 of them, which will take 80% sanity to use it, unless you want to cheese it, of course. Which means like if there's like 2 left, you could like immediately like light them both like really fast. But most likely it'll cause an insta hunt, which will probably just kill you instead. Now of course the ghost can hunt right in the middle of you lighting the candles, because as you're lighting it, your sanity goes down by 16 each candle, of course, which means there's a little bit of time for the ghost to just start a hunt. So when you actually like light the whole summoning circle, it could just be hunting right then, and then it will just teleport the ghost to that circle and then basically just try and kill you. Which in my opinion, this is probably the worst cursed possession in the game, just like hands down the worst. It used to be good, but then it just all went downhill. So yeah, this is the worst one. Haunted Mirror, in my opinion, is the best one. All right, moving on to the music box. All right, so for the music box, using the music box will play melody, which forces the ghost to like sing along with the melody from wherever it is. All right, so say for example, you've just entered Tanglewood and the ghost is in the kitchen, and using the music box, you will hear the ghost singing over there in the kitchen. Now, when you get up to the ghost around 5 meters, I'm not sure how you can tell how many meters are, but when you're close to the ghost while it's singing, it'll appear as a ghost event and then start walking towards the music to start a hunt. Now, whenever you're close to the music box, you'll actually lose 2.5% sanity per second, which is about 76% because the song actually lasts for almost 30 seconds. And if you don't have enough sanity when you're close to the box, it'll actually just like close early and then just start an insta cursed hunt right away. But yeah, this cursed possession is actually pretty good for getting the ghost photo. But all right, moving on to the tarot cards. I'm just going to stop you for 1 second. I just want to say thank you for watching the video. Please feel free to like the video and subscribe if you want, or comment down below if you've learned something new. It definitely helps me a ton. I'm trying to grow as like a channel and as like a brand and everything. I want to be able to start making money from this, because right now I have no job. I actually quit my job to start doing this. So I'd really appreciate a like, comment down below, subscribe. Follow me on Twitch as well if you want. But anyways, let's get back to the tarot cards. All right, so this is where we'll start seeing more of like the art and stuff that I put together. So after these notes, I'll show you those. All right, but first about the tarot cards. Each card pulled will affect the player or do something with the ghost. And this is something you should know right away, is if you pull any cards during a hunt, they'll always be a full card, no matter what. And tarot cards always start with 10 cards. And of course, every card has a different chance to be pulled. Some are the same as others are different, of course. All right, so I put a lot of work putting all this together, but I hope you guys enjoy it. So over here on this side, we have the common section. Over there on this side, we've got the uncommon. And right in the middle, we've got the full card, which is kind of in the middle. All right, so on the left, we have a 20% chance to pull the Tower card and the Wheel of Fortune. So the Tower card will always double all ghost activity for 20 seconds. All right, so ghost activity means it'll like increase the amount that it touches stuff, that does ghost events. I think even abilities as well, which is quite cool. Although it's only 20 seconds, so it's not really the best, because most ghosts in my experience just don't do anything. All right, the Wheel of Fortune, you have 2 things it could be. It could either burn green or burn red. So whenever you pull the card, it'll burn a certain color, green or red. So when it burns green, you'll actually gain 25% sanity. When it burns red, you actually lose 25% sanity. All right, so right here in the middle, we have the Fool. It mimics a random card, then burns just as a full. It's like it'll say like Hangman, for example, and then it just burns purple, like, or like burns into a full. That means it just does nothing. It's just there to fool you, which I've gotten many Hangman cards and they all just burn into a full. All right, then over here on the right, we have the Devil and the Hermit. They're both 10% chance to be pulled. All right, so the Devil will trigger a ghost event by the nearest player to the ghost, I think, which means any air balls, any normal ghost events. And the Hermit will actually teleport the ghost to its room and trap it for 1 minute. And it also doesn't affect hunts or events. So it could, like, if you're near the ghost room, it could also just do like a ghost event, which would leave its room, which I think would also just like stay out of its room or something. I'm not sure. But most of the time, Hermit cards are basically useless. They don't really do anything. They're just kind of there. All right, so apparently I forgot to put the Death card on my charts. So here it is. It is also a 10% chance to be pulled, but the Death card actually triggers a cursed hunt right away, like immediately. All right, now moving on to the rare and legendary cards. So these cards actually have a rare chance to be pulled. All right, so on the left side, we have the Sun card and the Moon card, which are both 5% chance to be pulled. All right, so these cards are actually almost like upgraded Wheel of Fortunes, where the Sun card will fully restore the player's sanity to 100% no matter what, unless it burns as a full, of course. And then we have the Moon card, which will instantly put the player's sanity to 0%. That's kind of like the opposite of the Sun, obviously, because Sun and Moon. All right, then we have the legendary cards on the right. These ones are super, super rare to get. Most of the times you'll get these and they'll burn as a full. I've gotten many of these cards which have just burned as a full. All right, so we have the High Priestess, which is a 2% chance to be pulled, and the Hangman, which is a 1% chance to be pulled. So the High Priestess, it'll revive a randomly chosen dead player or whoever dies next. And then we have the Hangman card. It just instantly kills you. You just like drop all your items and die. That's it. All right, that's it for tarot cards. Let's move on to the Ouija board. Okay, so for the Ouija board, players can ask the board specific questions at the cost of sanity or death. Also, whenever you use the Ouija board, you must say goodbye or it'll break and cause an immediate cursed hunt. And this is quite cool with the Ouija board, is you could actually use the board to check for sanity. And I'll also just show you the little chart of like all the different numbers and stuff. So let's move on. All right, so I'll probably put these in like different chapters, but we got the basic questions, we got extra questions, and then we have sanity questions. So the basic questions are actually ones that you can see on the text. Like if you like switch your voice thing to text, you can actually see these pop up. But we have where are you or what's your favorite room, which will take 50% sanity. Where are you doesn't even tell you where the ghost room is. It basically just tells you where the ghost is at that time. So if the ghost like did a ghost event right in the foyer and then you immediately asked where are you, it would say the foyer. And where's the bone will just tell you where the bone is. So it'll tell you, like, say for example, it's like a bone in the kitchen. You go to the kitchen, you find a bone, boom. All right guys, do you speak to everyone or do you respond to everyone? Takes 20% sanity. It'll either say yes or no. And then we have hide and seek. Now it takes 0% sanity, but it also breaks the board immediately and causes a cursed hunt. It counts from 5 all the way to 0 and then breaks the board. All right, those are the basic questions. Now we're on to the extra questions. So these are all like different questions you can ask. And these are also ones that will not show up on like the text thing, like where you could like select all your different choices and stuff. So you could ask, are you here? Are you alone? Who is here? These all take 20% sanity. Like, are you close? Are we alone? How many ghosts are present? That's also 20% sanity. And then below that, we have, how are you? What do you want? Are you old? Are you young? Takes 5% sanity. You could also do Marco, and it'll answer Polo. And then knock knock, and then I think it says who's there, probably. Takes 5% sanity. All these take this amount of sanity that you can see there. And what's cool with these questions, they actually all have like different responses too, which is kind of cool. And it's also very good to just like ask it like small questions that take a little bit of sanity if you want to like test for like a certain ghost that like early hunts or something. All right, and on to the sanity questions. These ones you can see on the text thing, but it's kind of confusing. So here's a little chart to hopefully make it a little bit more simple for you. So you can ask, am I insane? If it says no, you have more than 90% sanity. If it says maybe, you have between 20% and 90% sanity, which is quite a big gap. And if it says yes, you have less than 20% sanity, which means you are insane. How sane am I? Or what is my sanity? If it says healthy, you have more than 80%. If it says good, you have between 60 and 80%. If it says average, you have between 40 and 60% sanity. If it says bad, you have between 20 and 40% sanity. And it says awful, you have less than 20% sanity. And then how crazy am I or how insane am I? If it says not very, you have more than 50% sanity. If it says very, you have between 25 and 50% sanity. And if it says insane, you have less than 25% sanity, which means you would be insane. Now the am I insane question probably is not that helpful. Not as helpful as the how sane am I and how crazy am I, because you can actually ask those questions. Now obviously all these questions, like any of these questions, actually only take 5% sanity, which is great. But you also got to keep that in mind if you want to like know your sanity, like add 5 to like whatever it says. But this is actually really helpful if you have the Ouija board and you don't have any screens, like all the screens are broken, so you don't know what your sanity is. This is actually very helpful, and I hope you guys use this. You can always take a screenshot or whatever. But last but not least, let's move on to the monkey paw. Alright, so for the monkey paw, any player can make a wish and it'll do as you say, but with a twist. Now you can find wishes on Sunny Meadows. Like you pick them up and it'll show up in your journal. There's actually a little page that shows all the wishes that you found on Sunny Meadows. The good news is you don't even need to find the wishes on Sunny Meadows. If you just know the wishes, you can just ask the monkey paw that and then it'll do it. Alright, the amount of fingers depends on the difficulty. And each finger is like a wish. So like if it had like 4 fingers, that's a wish. Like 2 fingers, that's 2 wishes. Alright, so I'll have this separated into 4 different wishes, like chapter markers. If you want to see all the different wishes you can do. But here's the first wishes. I wish to see the ghost. So this will trigger a ghost event where the ghost is, like at its location. So if it's in the kitchen and you're in the foyer, it'll trigger a ghost event in the kitchen. And it'll start a hunt after 5 seconds. So like that's enough time to take a picture and run away. But it also obscures your vision with a dark fog. So you can only see like a couple feet in front of you. So you got to make sure and hide with that. And the dark fog will go away after it's done hunting. I wish for activity. It'll double all ghost activity, meaning the same as the tower card. So basically like more throws, more like abilities, more ghost events. But this one's actually for 2 minutes. But it'll break the breaker permanently. And it also locks the front door for 2 minutes. I wish to trap the ghost. So this one actually teleports the ghost to its room and locks any doors around it for 1 minute, as well as locking the doors around you for 1 minute too. And then after the 1 minute passes, it'll start a cursed hunt right away. Now I do believe that this wish is supposed to lock the front door, but it actually doesn't. The only time it actually locks the front door is if you're standing right next to the front door, or the ghost is in a room that connects with the front door. Because if any of those scenarios play out, then it's just going to lock the front door, and then you have to wait 1 minute, and then it'll just start a hunt, and then you'll be trapped. Now there is a little bit of a secret with the trapping the ghost wish. So apparently there's actually a 25% chance for doors to unlock only after the grace period is done. So the ghost will start its hunt, then after the grace period passes, then you can actually open like the locked doors, unless it's the front door, of course. So you got to be careful if you're locking yourself in with the ghost, because if it does that and that chance happens, you'll be stuck there and basically you have to like scramble really, really fast to survive. All right, we got the next wishes tab. So I wish to be sane, or I wish for sanity. We'll set all player sanity to 50% sanity, but it multiplies the passive sanity drain by 1.5 times until the contract ends, of course. And it also forces the ghost to change its room to a random room. So say for example, you're in high school and the ghost room is like the entrance, and then it'll like set it to like the top floor, like all the way in back. Like it doesn't have to be a room that's close to it. It's just a random room in that building. So you gotta be careful when using this wish. I wish to be safe. So this wish actually unblocks the nearest hiding spot that's near the player, but it'll also shatter the light that's in the same room. And the ghost will always hear your equipment or your voice wherever you are, like no matter what. So back to the high school example, imagine the ghost is like at the very top floor at the very back corner, and you're right there in the entrance. If you have your flashlight on, it knows where you are and it's going to your location right now. And this also does the same for the yokai. So if you want to test if it's going to be yokai, you definitely want to do that before doing this wish, because that overwrites the yokai's ability to not be able to hear you, to then it'll be able to hear you no matter what, because that's what this wish does. I wish to leave. It unlocks all exit doors at any time, including during hunts, but it puts the user speed, like whoever wishes the wish, to like very little, and then it gradually goes back to normal in 5 seconds. So this is a great wish to use during hunts. You just got to make sure you're at the front door, wish to leave, and then open the door and try to run out as fast as you can. Although you'd be very, very slow by the time you used it, but then you'll be safe. And if you're playing by yourself, it'll cancel the hunt pretty much right away when you leave. And we're on to the second last tab of the wishes for the monkey paw. So we have I wish for life and I wish to revive my friend. Like either of those will work. This will revive a dead player, but it also has a 50% chance to take the life of whoever wished that wish. So you have like 2 players, one is dead. So if this player wished the wish, this one gets revived and then this one dies. But there's also a 50% chance for this guy to live. And of course, this wish cannot be used if no one has died. So you have to wait until someone's dead, of course. And we have I wish for knowledge. Alright, so this wish will eliminate one incorrect piece of evidence that the game knows it's not going to be. And it'll also eliminate the ghost types that connect to that. But the twist with this wish is the ghost will start a hunt near the player, and the player whoever wished that wish is now blinded and deafened permanently, meaning it's very hard to see. It's almost like that dark fog from I wish to see the ghost, and then you will not be able to hear much at all, so you got to make sure and be hiding when you use that wish. I think you could also use it during a hunt, which is much more safer, and you have to be careful whenever it rolls out orbs. You got to make sure and check for orbs, because if it's a mimic, the orbs is actually not an evidence for the mimic, it's actually an ability. They'll just roll out orbs, but you got to make sure and check just in case if you think it might be a mimic. That's like the one like kind of bug or like weird thing that happens with this wish. And then lastly, you have a wish for any of these weathers. It's like sunrise, clear, fog, snow, windy, rain weather. Now, obviously, there is also a blood moon weather that they added, but you cannot wish for that. That's like a purely like RNG, like very low chance to get it. I think it's like a 2% chance. But this wish, like say for example, I wish for sunrise, it'll change to that weather that the user chooses, but it'll also take away 25% sanity. So that's a pretty good bit of sanity, but this is also the only wish that actually takes away sanity. And then of course, when you're under 25% sanity, you cannot use this wish. And you cannot wish for any other weathers if you have already wished for one weather. It just will not let you. And whenever you wish for rain, it'll actually do a coin flip if it's going to be heavy rain or light rain. All right, on to the secret wish. It is totally a secret. So the wish, I wish for anything. It'll randomly grant you any of the wishes that have not been used during that round. So you gotta be careful. It could be like I wish for knowledge, or it could be like a weather wish. I wish for rain or something. You never know, but that's a cool wish that's also not on like the text option. So you gotta actually like speak into it and like I wish for anything, and it'll do that wish. All right, and that was my Cursed Possessions video. I hope you liked the art style that I made. I took a lot of screenshots. I put all this together. I cut it all out, and I think I did pretty well. I mean, I'm proud of like what I accomplished here. I mean, the art stuff, I recorded some B-roll, and then now I'm recording this. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please comment down below if you've learned anything or just help the algorithm, and please feel free to like the video and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And also, Merry Christmas. This video will probably get uploaded like after Christmas. Today it's actually Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas Eve or Merry Christmas. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this helps because I've done like a lot of research for this. I have like a whole notes pad like full of notes on every single cursed possession. I've done a ton of testing as well, so I honestly hope this video performs well. I'm not sure how well it'll do, but I guess time will tell. Also, let me know down in the comments what you think is the most complex cursed possession. This is just my opinion that the Voodoo Doll's least complex. There's not really much to do. You just pull the pin and it'll do something or hunt. And you got the most complex is the monkey paw, which there's a lot of wishes and they each have like a certain twist to them, which is kind of cool. But anyways, enough rant. I hope you guys have a good Christmas. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.